Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to my guest. Today we have from Westboro, David Allexenberg. Did I say that right?
Yes, it is from Northborough.
It's from Northborough, David Allexenberg. And David, I read about in the Community Advocate for his mitzvah project. That is a Jewish tradition. And for his mitzvah project, he chose water for the South Sudan, right? The South Sudan.
Correct.
And this, I thought it was absolutely marvelous. David, can you describe to us about this? We're going to zero right in on this. Beautiful, he made the display.
She made.
Did you make it? Okay, well, Mom, but tell us what's on it. Because that's the book you read, right? Long.
Correct.
Yep.
So there's the cut newspaper article of the, of what I did when someone interviewed me. The book, the Facebook fundraiser, then a little bit more information. I wrote this to put on the Facebook article so people know a little bit more about it. And this is Salva's story. He's the creator of the fund. Cool. We kind of learn a little bit about him in the book. So this is what happened. Kind of a shorter story than the actual book.
I never heard of that book, A Long Walk to Water. How did you hear of it?
The entire 6th grade in my school all read the book together. So we kind of found out about it.
And that really impressed you, A Long Walk to Water? What David's trying to do is encourage water, getting it into the Sudan, the south of Sudan. I had no idea, and maybe a lot of us don't, that there's a water problem over there. But it's fresh water. Is that the problem? They have water, but it's not drinking water?
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Did you get this all, Paul? That's where I first heard about you in the community advocate. This is fantastic. And you're going to have this at your bar mitzvah, right?
Yeah, we might add some stuff in, too.
Yeah.
There's going to be a box where my friends can donate instead of giving me gifts, because that was the entire purpose of it. And we started that Facebook thing just to kind of promote it a little bit, and we did not expect it to explode as much as it did.
This is his mom, Abby, right beside him. Who is that beautiful lady right beside David? That's his mom, Abby. Thank you for bringing him. Or who brought who? Did you drive? Look at him.
Very good driver.
Now, in the Sudan, how have they survived with such a problem with water? Do they have to walk miles with things over there, you know?
It's like they have this gourd. It's some sort of vegetable, kind of like squash family. They empty it out and carry that on their heads, go to the whatever water source. It is miles away. So that's like one half of the book about this girl. It's not, that part isn't exactly a true story.
Yeah.
But it's kind of showing her going back and forth miles, carrying water to get to her family. But even then, it's still not clean water. So often people get sick.
Yeah.
And they don't have the right doctors to fix that, to have a good treatment.
Yeah.
To really stop that.
Why do I get the feeling that you might like to be a doctor someday? Am I right? No?
No,
This
I
is...
can't handle that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't know, because you're caring about people so much with the water problem. That, to me, is signals somebody. What doctor goes in? He's got to care, right? Take care. What do you think you might like to do? You're pretty young, but what do you like?
Composing, music theory. I'm really interested in that. Play a couple instruments.
Huh? What do you play?
Piano, bass guitar, oboe.
That's it, huh? That's a lot. My gosh. Which is your favorite, though?
I'd say piano. That's the most fun. It's really satisfying.
You've been playing a lot of years?
I picked it up just last year, but it's...
I know, I had about 3 or 4 years of piano lessons. I finally just got... I got burned out. Then my parents got me a guitar, right? Cool. That lasted maybe 6 months. You think your hip's looking cool. I gotta use my guitar, right? Are you the only fellow who will be at the bar mitzvah? Sometimes they have like a couple of young people there at the same time, or will you be alone on the?
We're small enough that we can have one person at a time.
You're going to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Are you getting nervous or excited or happy?
Mostly nervous.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff I need to do up there.
Yeah, definitely.
But once it's over, it's going to be like the most relieved I've felt.
Yeah. Nobody likes to
Because
be
all of that work, all of that build up, and
Yeah.
then she needs to prepare all this stuff with the party and the afterwards and everything.
Is it going to
So
be one
once
of those big events at a hotel?
I wouldn't say that big, but we've got a room
Yeah.
for the kids and adults and
Dancing, music, all that stuff?
yeah,
Oh, wow. It could be like, well, you're 12, right?
right.
Are you going to turn 13 before that or after it?
Usually you are 13 before your bar mitzvah, but something with the Jewish calendar, I'm not quite 12. Within like a week I am,
Yeah.
but not quite.
Ah, is that okay though?
Yeah, it's okay. It's in the Jewish calendar, I believe.
Will
I
there be
would be 13.
Will there be a cantor singing there or playing the guitar?
It's not really like that. There's not that kind of music during the service, but there would be a lot of like partying or music and dancing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Afterwards.
again, we're talking with David Allexenberg. I think I said that right. Right?
Yeah.
This is about his bar mitzvah project. And mitzvah, correct me if I'm wrong, mean doing something wonderful for somebody, caring about other people. And this is
Yes.
what this young man chose. Water for the South Sudan, based on the book, was a long walk to water. I hadn't heard about. I didn't even know. You're going to be opening a lot of eyes, really. And that's what he's chosen as his humanitarian approach to helping other people. Have you talked with any of the other guys who are going to, well, in school, what you're going to do at all? Do they know? Because you all had to read the book, right?
Right. Well, there aren't a lot of Jewish people in my school, and we started the project around the summer,
Yeah?
so I don't think many people know. Their parents, my friends' parents, they've donated so they might know a little bit about it.
Yeah?
But they're in the invitation.
Yeah.
There's a little notice that instead of gifts, you can donate to the fundraiser. So they should know a little bit more about that. So instead of bringing gifts, they'll just bring some money to donate.
How about that? That is really, really cool. Mom, you must be so proud.
And again, the in the middle there, the write-up that he did, he wants to be a music composer, but he's quite a storyteller as well.
Yeah.
And he does a really great job at getting his
Might become
his
an
point
author as well as
across.
a songwriter, right? Maybe?
In a way.
You would. Now, this one I had, of course, this is how I found David in this wonderful article. I love this. Hi, I'm David, and I'm going to have my bar mitzvah in September. If you can, I ask you to take the time to read this, as I need to inform you of something important. I'm working on a mitzvah project. And he goes on to tell you, which is doing something good for others. Now, what's A Lost Boy Returns? What's that all about, A Lost Boy?
That's about Salva, the creator. That's kind of what happens along through the story along Walk to Water. It's split between two people.
Yeah.
So Salva's the real person that ends up actually creating the fundraiser. And there's another girl to kind of tie in about the water crisis. And at the end, it kind of comes together.
Yeah.
I'm not going to explain how,
Yeah.
because
Don't spoil
spoilers.
it.
But so that kind of section is explaining about what happens throughout the book with them, about the war between South Sudan and the rest of Sudan, kind of fighting to get their own independence.
Yeah.
So he gets caught in that. A bunch of stuff happens. He tries to, really helpful. But he tries to go through refugee camps,
Yeah.
or find refugee camps because he's away from home. And eventually he ends up in America and gets informed about that his father is still alive but sick.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what inspires him to make the fundraiser.
Oh, see, his father, yeah. David and his father was still alive, yeah, and he was suffering from a waterborne parasites and disease. Oh,
So that was from the water. So he decided to go to schools, make the fundraiser, kind of spread the word out so that he could help other people in his village and the rest of South Sudan to get clean water. So they teach the people how to build wells and to get fresh water. And that's what the whole fundraiser is. So donating will get like a certain amount of people or a certain amount of villages to get wells for fresh water instead of the murky water that would otherwise get them sick.
Is it working? Is it working, all the hard work you and have you ever met the man that wrote the book?
No.
Did you see a picture of him or anything?
We saw a little bit about it in school when we finished with the book. We learned a little bit more about the fundraiser itself.
I wonder what made the teacher select such a good book.
It was a couple years ago. We have a all school one read.
Yeah.
So the entire school, all grades, read the same book over the summer, answer some questions about it. Then the author usually comes in and talks about it. So that was one of the books. Not last year. They had a different book, but I believe the teacher must have thought that was a good book for learning.
Did the author come in to see you guys and talk?
I probably, but I wasn't there yet. It was a couple years back, so I wasn't in middle school. I didn't do that entire
Does he
thing.
know what you're doing, this good thing? Does he know? The fellow right here, the one whose father was sick from the water?
I don't believe so. We haven't gotten any feedback from it. It's pretty big, so I'm not sure if he really knows about it.
Yeah.
It is, that entire thing, I believe, is only private to her friends on Facebook.
Well, it is private to my friends. However, if you go to the link, you're able to, anyone can donate to it, and you can talk about your goals that you set.
What's your goal?
Yeah, so we said like 500,
Nice.
250, 500 originally, just to kind of start. It was like a month back, and it was, everybody donated really quickly. We got the goal up, so we kind of just multiplied it, 250 to 500, then 1,000. Then it was 1,000 around when the 1,000 goal was passed, when that newspaper article came out. So we upped the goal to 2,000, and just recently, like just a couple days ago, it was passed.
So, David, how can people get in touch with you? We had mentioned Facebook.
In the Community Advocate, there's a link to the Facebook page where you can donate. You can also, I believe, ask questions. So I'll probably answer some of those.
What's the, once you get on there, I mean, did they look for your certain name? Is it that it, or will it say?
Clicking on the link will get to the page, so you'll see David's Mitzvah Project. So you can probably comment something about it, and if I'm informed about it, then I can write back.
And anytime someone makes a donation, you'll see a comment and David's name in parentheses. That means the comment and the reply to the donation is from David himself. He replies to and thanks people for all the donations.
Now, David, are you the banker, the keeper of the funds while you're still fundraising?
It all goes, the built-in Facebook fundraiser thing, it kind of sends the money directly to the foundation, so we put in the information about the fundraiser, we write it all in, and when people donate, that money goes to the fundraiser. I believe it's stored all until the deadline, which is still in a month, so when my bar mitzvah
What's
happens,
the date of your bar mitzvah, Dave?
September 21st, so
That's
almost
exciting.
Exactly in a month.
That is really good. You had to learn a lot. I know when I used to babysit a little boy, my gosh, from a very young age, he was learning Hebrew. He was going to his school, and so, how on earth are you memorizing all the different letters? That's a lot. That's hard.
It's something you need to learn pretty early on. She signed me up for Hebrew school around in kindergarten, so I got to learn about it pretty quickly and pick it up before my brain was more developing. So I really got the hang of it before that age where it's kind of harder to learn languages.
Yeah. You
So
did well.
even around now, if you started to learn it, it would be easier than, say, in when you're 20 or 30.
I think I learned French, and I can still speak French moderately, but I think it was in junior high, maybe 7th or 8th grade. That's back then, and then 2 or 3 or 4 years after that, something like that. So I could speak it pretty I mean, I can't completely converse totally in it, but I can get my point across. If I was in France right now, I would definitely know how to find the bathroom.
That's so
Oh, yeah, I got that. And some of the other ones, like, where's the food? That type of thing. But can you speak Hebrew? Can you speak it?
It's more about reading it and understanding. Not understanding, we don't really do definitions. That's not something that we've really worked on in Hebrew school. I think we tried it once, but that didn't end up working too well.
Yeah.
So I can read it well and pronounce everything pretty well, but I
Prayers.
don't understand.
Yeah, prayers, right.
Yeah.
Do you think that, I have a feeling that your goal money, whatever already has exceeded, is going to, by the time you have your bar mitzvah, isn't it going to, it's going to be higher, right? It's going to keep going. I mean, it's not going to go down, it's going to go up, right?
Well, this hasn't even accounted for the people coming to the bar mitzvah, so
They can donate there.
they can donate there. There will be
Yeah.
a little collection box for all the people, for all his friends that we've asked in lieu of the gifts to bring a donation. So, and anyone else who wants to, and anyone who sees this online. Yeah, Facebook doesn't get any of it. We don't get any of it. It just goes straight to
The
Water
account.
for South Sudan.
I wonder how long this has been going on, the Sudan water issue, as far as us, this guy, do you know when he founded this situation here, so that people could get in touch and help?
When it was a little whiles back, not too long, in the early 2010s, 2014, 2012 to 2014, around then is when he
Yeah.
started it.
Not
I
that long
believe-
ago, really, when you think
Not
about it.
too long ago, no.
Well, but I really wish that he could know what you're doing, really, because, it's... How many kids take the time to do something like this? Do you realize how special that is? It really, really is.
Well, it kind of started from my brother. He did a similar thing. It wasn't this big, where you would donate to a certain fund, but rather instead of gifts, people could bring in sports equipment, and that would go to, like, charities or to people that don't kind of have that stuff. So I kind of wanted to do something similar, and since we had just read the book, I figured we could do that. And the whole Facebook thing was kind of to promote the bar mitzvah,
Yeah,
and it just kind of blew up.
yeah.
It probably has become bigger than the actual, like, the donation box at the bar mitzvah. It's probably gotten way bigger than...
So you didn't even dream it would take off like this, right?
I had no idea. It was kind of something to push. I wrote out that entire
Yeah.
little thing.
Yeah. You
All
can't
of this
read it
was-
from here, but it's here. It's right here.
Yeah, all of this was just to promote what's happening in my bar mitzvah in a couple
Yeah.
months.
How
And
many people do you think are going to be there? Hundreds?
not hundreds. We've got over 100, maybe.
Maybe 130.
We're still getting back RSVPs from people.
Yeah, if you found out that when you send out a card and it says RSVP, people don't do it anymore, I don't know what to do. I figure I'll call you. You've got to this date and I'll call you because they don't send them back. How many did you get back? Maybe, I don't know.
We're waiting. It's September 5th, I believe, is the deadline.
Well, they better get back to you.
Yeah,
Can
whoever
some-
sees this, September 2nd.
Yeah.
I mean, mommy and dad have to write. They got to plan who the people going to be there. You got to plan for all these people and the food, right, and everything. If people just start showing up, it's like, they're going to be sharing plates. Do you know how many RSVPs you've got back yet, though?
I don't know exactly.
We're doing better. They're
Yeah.
trickling in. What do we tell people if they don't send an RSVP
Oh,
back?
bring a chair and a sandwich.
Bring a chair and a sandwich. I love it. You know what? We should say that, like at wedding, RSVPs. If you don't, and you show up, bring a chair and a sandwich. If you don't RSVP, I love that. I really do. I've been get really, really. I don't know. Haven't you run into that, Mom, Abby? The people. What is it with the not RSVPing?
It might just be, I can do it later. I don't need to do
Yeah.
it right now. It's not that important. And then they get to the date, and they need to kind of rush to get it out quickly. Because some people are closer. We've got some in, like, California, Buffalo,
They're gonna
some of
fly
my
in.
relatives.
Yeah.
Those, I think, have been better about getting them in quicker because it takes a lot longer. But the people there in Northborough in Massachusetts, I'll just put it off.
Or they're like us and they stick it in a pile and that pile gets bigger and bigger and
Yeah.
it gets lost.
Lesson to all, please, if you get a card with an RSVP, take it seriously. You've done parties, I assume, most people, and you do kind of want to know how many mouths to feed. Really, this is a big deal for David and his family. And, I understand, I have done that. I've run a party for my son, and the theme was The Godfather.
Oh, fun.
I surprised him. He was, I don't know if he was 15, 14, I don't know. But he was up in Worcester working in a restaurant, helping out. This is for the chefs. He was just a kid. But he loves The Godfather. So I got everybody together. A lot of people didn't RSVP, but we surprised him. He didn't know. We walked into the back room where the piano was, where the whole Godfather melodies came up, and the place was dark, and there were pictures of the Corleone family, and then the black balloons and white. He was stunned. I don't think he said, "Oh my God!" But I had no idea how many were coming. More than I thought, but then less than I guessed. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I know they'll come, and yet someone shows up like, "Oh, I didn't think you'd come." You ever run into that? That's kind of weird. It's the strangest thing. So again, we're talking with David Allexenberg. And David has done a wonderful project for his mitzvah project. And it's called Water for the South Sudan. And it was based on the book that he read in school, A Long Walk to Water. And a lot of us have no clue. How many miles do people have to walk to get water?
I don't know exactly, but it's a couple, at least.
Yeah, if you're not let's put it
Quite a
this way.
while.
If you're not feeling very well, and you need water, that really is not cool. That really isn't. Why do you think that now they've added some things like machines and things for water? Maybe spring water? Some sort of, the bottles? Are you donating the bottles of water too?
It's, people create wells. They teach the people how to create wells, and they make wells to get fresh water. And that's kind of what you donate for, to get more people to help or get more resources to get the wells. Because they don't have any access to those kind of like tap water or sink or bottles of water. They can't really get that.
But David, I don't understand the science of it. You probably do. They dig deep in the well, but how can we guarantee that the water that they hit is safe? Just that way?
The deep, I don't know exactly, but they're like aquifers, so all of the rainwater kind of seeps through the ground. And there's this kind of little area filled with fresh rainwater. So they dig in. They've got like a bucket or something that reaches down to get that fresh water from that aquifer. That's what it's called. And I believe that's how you get it. So I think they need to find a location.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just kind of dig to see. Because I assume they don't really have access. They don't really know about that kind of stuff with the aquifers. So there's probably a bunch of rainwater, so they just try to locate where that is, and then you get the well, and anybody has access to that fresh water in the village, so they kind of...
So this money, that hopefully the raised contributions will help towards that, right? Will they need one of our American scientists to go over and show them how to do it?
It's a couple workers that know the process of creating the wells and everything. So they come over, a whole crew of people. They show the people in the village how to make one, and they make one for them, so they all have access of fresh water.
It started already, right? It's okay.
Yeah,
So we're
started a little while back.
okay. So it's rocking and rolling already, but this is going to really help it rock, right? Well, that is again, David. How can people reach you? Or tell them again.
There's a link in the Community Advocate to the Facebook page. And there you can kind of comment something about it, ask a question, and I'll reply. I know this is going on YouTube, so maybe if you have a question in the comments, you could
definitely.
I could write back to them that way too.
You can use this in YouTube anywhere you want. Mom, you said something.
There's, if you see on the Facebook page, there's also, when you click on the Water for South Sudan, there is a link to their website, and they have information about their mission as well, and it can tell you about how something around $50 will buy a pump for a well, and around $500 will buy education for the village on how to build the wall and sanitation for the water. So there's more information about the mission as well through the actual website.
Abby, is there a chemical that they add to sanitize it, do you think?
That I don't know about, but I'm sure the website has more information on that.
David, look what you started. Did you have any idea it would take off like this?
No. It was, like I said before, is originally intended just to be the, in the bar mitzvah, guests would show up, we'd have a letter mentioning how you could, instead of gifts, you would donate some money in the donation box.
Yeah.
So we started the Facebook just to kind of like, not advertise it, but just to, for people that maybe couldn't go, or
Yeah.
just to kind of show this is what we're going to be doing the day of the bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it-
and then we forgot the newsletter the rabbi suggested
A newsletter.
to post it in the temple newsletter.
Oh,
Ah.
yeah.
And that's how I think the community advocate heard about it.
That is what I mean. I thought, how did the community advocate find? They found you. Just how'd they find out?
We have this temple newsletter, and I believe that's how she found out. She must have seen the link or something, or maybe heard it from someone else.
She knew a good thing when she saw it. She did. Were you when she came to interview you? Were you nervous? Well, you're not nervous. You don't look nervous to me. This is his first time on TV, right? He's doing good. He's going to be hosting his own show. I have a son, but you're in the generation after his. My son's a millennial. So you must be, and his kids are like, what, 5, 6, and 7 or something like that. So they're in, it's not Gen X, that's the one just after boomers. I don't know, but you're probably in their generation too. You want to know what you think of what's going on, but what you're doing is a good thing, and it's something people need to do. Not every kid says, oh, well, look, don't give me any gifts, please. In lieu of gifts, send the money for this great cause. Get water to people who need water. Who would guess, right? David Allexenberg, thank you, and good luck on your bar mitzvah.
Thank
Mom, Abby, thank you for bringing him.
Thank you for having him.
Definitely get this out there. Take this anywhere you want. I bet you when he grows up and he's sitting here, he's already invented something, or he's doing what a great musician or something like that. Look at him. All right. Well, thank you, and we'll see you next time on Be My Guest.
Thank